Sometimes what we say in the physical world to one another is radically different from what we feel or what we're experiencing on a soul level. Twin flames especially deal with this contrast, this divide between what they may say to one another in their day-to-day interactions, or what they may leave unsaid, and how they're actually feeling beneath the surface. Because energetically, what twin flames are always feeling is connection, soul deep, unbreakable, eternal connection to one another, and all of the unconditional love that flows from that connection. However, because of the circumstances in which they sometimes meet one another, circumstances that make it seem as though, at least for a time, they can't physically be together, the things that two twin flames say to each other may be very different from how they actually feel. So in this podcast, I want to share signs your twin flame is feeling it too. Feeling the connection, feeling the spiritual nature of the bond that you share, and above all, feeling that unconditional love penetrate every cell in their being and exude outward, even as they may be trying to hide it. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Thank you so much for being here today, for listening to this podcast, because as I always say, you out there, wherever, whenever you are listening to this video, you aren't just a passive listener by sharing your energy with me. You are actually co-creating all of the knowledge, information, and videos that come forth through this channel. So thank you for co-creating here with me and sharing your beautiful thoughts and experiences in the comments. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. So how does your twin flame feel about you, even if they aren't putting words to that feeling? This is especially for twin flames who are going through that period of time we sometimes refer to as separation, which of course there can never truly be separation on a spiritual, energetic level between twin flames. But this is just referring to a time of disconnect physically, mentally, emotionally, when it comes to communication, or literally in the physical world, being separated by distance. However, you may find this applies to whatever situation you're in with your twin flame. These are really universal twin flame signs, things twin flames unconsciously do when they're feeling that strong connection to one another. The first sign your twin flame is feeling the connection is they light up around you. I know this is kind of a figure of speech, but with twin flames, it's almost literal. The way that their eyes, their being, their energy will just seem to illuminate in your presence. They will perhaps talk faster or more excitedly. Their eyes will look brighter or wider. They may appear to be completely fixated on you, just kind of buzzing with energy. It's something that is a little bit hard to explain exactly, but what's happening here is an energy merge. So twin flames are always exchanging energy with one another, but when they are physically around each other, they go through what is called an energy merge or an auric merge, meaning that their physical aura is extending approximately 6 feet beyond their physical body. These auras are coming together, are merging. So when this happens, they essentially ignite this this energy within each other that then sends this massive rush of energy through their being and causes their vibration to radically rise. Now, I've talked about this happening the first time twin flames meet because it's always the most surprising the first time this happens. But the interesting thing is this auric merge, this energy merge doesn't just happen one time. It can happen anytime you are around one another in each other's presence, which is why so often twin flames feel incredibly energized, enthused, like their vibration is rising to extremely high altitudes when they are physically together. This is why twin flames can seem to get lost in their own little world together or be completely oblivious to everything else around them because, in a sense, nothing else around them exists on the plane that they exist on together. They kind of ascend in that moment to these higher vibrational realms where it's really just the two of them in deep conversation, talking about life, their experiences, the world. And in these conversations, in these moments, they literally get swept up into planes of existence where it is just the two of them existing and connecting together. So this leads me into the second sign your twin flame is feeling this powerful love connection is they seem extremely fixated upon you when they're around you, whenever they are in the same room as you. Their energy seems to be focused in your direction. Now, I need to clarify this a little bit because depending on your physical 3D circumstances with your twin flame, this could look very different depending on your situation. So let's say your twin flame, for whatever reason, in the physical is trying to deny or repress their intense feelings for you. If you are together in the same room, let's say at a party with a bunch of people, this energetic fixation doesn't necessarily mean that they will be staring at you every single second. It means that even when they aren't looking at you, you can feel them watching you. You feel as though no matter who they're speaking to, even when they're on their phone, no matter what they're doing, you almost feel as though their energy is still on you. They're watching you, kind of even out of the corner of their eye. They may glance at you a lot because of this, or they may be trying not to look at you, but you just feel their focused energy on you. Now, of course, this sign is a little bit intuitive because, like I said, they may not necessarily be physically looking at you with their eyes, depending on your situation. But regardless of your circumstances, you will know intuitively, without a doubt, that when you are in the room with your twin flame, they are focused, they are fixated on you, even if they are trying to repress those feelings of fixation. Now, the third sign your twin flame is feeling this connection, and this is the most counterintuitive sign that I wrote down, so it's going to require some explaining. But sometimes, again, because of the circumstances, maybe you are with someone else, your twin flame is with someone else, or for whatever reason, there's some healing that needs to be done. And the circumstances in the physical world make it appear as though you can't be together. In these circumstances, your twin flame may actively try to avoid you or do something else that is seemingly very contradictory to everything else they have been saying to you, showing you, feeling about you. Now, this sign will be really confusing because your twin flame could feel this connection with you, light up around you, be totally fixated on you when you're in the room. It's like the love is there, the love is undeniable, the connection is undeniable. And yet, if they are trying to repress these feelings, they may actually do one random one-off thing or say one-off thing that is so directly contradictory to everything else that's going on. And this is actually their ego self trying to repress or reject these feelings in some active kind of way through either saying something to you or doing something in some kind of an attempt to put up this wall between the two of you. Now, of course, this is not a successful attempt from the ego. The ego often tries to do this on both sides while we are in the process of healing this connection. And of course, that wall never holds for long. And that is how you know that this word or this thing they said or this action is just them trying to repress their feelings. You can recognize that because it's like as soon as they put up that wall, it seems to kind of crumble down again. They can never hold to that. So I know I'm kind of speaking on a bit of a convoluted, a higher level here. So let's bring it down to real physical examples. So for example, you could meet your twin flame and they could be with someone else and you could really connect. Like you feel all of those signs, symptoms, and that energy symptom I specifically just talked about, feeling so lost in conversation with each other, feeling them light up around you. And then suddenly they may say something about you just being a friend or seeing you as a sister or a brother, depending on the situation, or how just something very one-off like that, where it's like they obviously were feeling this love, this connection, and then all of a sudden they called you something or labeled you something or your connection something that is so contradictory to everything you've been experiencing. Now, alternatively, they may start talking to you about the person they're dating or about someone they're interested in, or they might just do something, say something that is just so contradictory to every other way they were acting and feeling. And once again, the way you can recognize that this is just their ego trying to put up a wall is that this will be just a one-off thing. And then once again, very soon after it's said or done, everything that they're doing or saying once again will seem very aligned with the soul deep connection they are feeling to you. This one thing that they say or do that is contradictory just will not fit with absolutely everything else. And of course, this may be very confusing to you, but ironically can also just be a sign that what they're feeling is so powerful and so intense that their ego is feeling the need to step in and try to stop it. So the fourth sign your twin flame is feeling this connection is a very physical, small and yet significant sign. This is that oftentimes your twin flame will naturally try to be close to you or even to touch you in small ways, meaning like brush arms with you, kind of have your hands touched by quote unquote accident. But it's like small touches that you tell yourself it could have just been completely accidental. They might touch your arm while they're speaking to you. They might want to hug you after a conversation. Small touches, and yet there's something nagging in you like, I feel like that wasn't insignificant, or I feel like that wasn't an accident. And that's your higher self, your intuition, feeling the ways in which this person is feeling that magnetic, irresistible pull toward you. And these so-called accidental touches may even be completely unconscious on their part, but it is them being so magnetically drawn to you that they are just trying everything they can to get close to you, to be around you. And whenever these touches do happen, you will notice them. They can't go unnoticed. You may even have a strange moment where you brush arms or brush fingers or something like that with your person, something very small, bump into them, and you look at each other and there's this feeling like you just shocked each other, like this electric current almost just went through you and you both felt it. And you may see that they almost look a little bit surprised. And it's like this strange moment you share, this shared knowing that even the smallest touches are so powerful and intense just because of the ways in which you are so deeply, energetically connecting with one another. And because even through these small touches, it's like you giving into this intense magnetism that's happening between you. So those moments are just so powerful. Now, the fifth sign that your twin flame is feeling this connection to is they seem to be clued into the telepathy that's happening between you, even if they aren't 100% consciously aware of it or willing to admit it. So what I mean by this is they may finish your sentences or you may finish their sentences And this may seem to both surprise and excite them as they realize this. It's like you'll get this feeling, or they may even say aloud that they feel like you just get them or you just understand them. They might say things to you like, I've never told anyone this in my whole life, or I have kept this a secret, or I don't think I've ever talked about this out loud. And those moments will almost be or feel like they're accidental, but really it's just your higher selves feeling safe in the presence of one another, feeling at home energetically enough to be able to open up. In fact, feeling so at home, feeling so comfortable that it would be impossible not to open up in these ways. But they will also seem to be able to read your mind, to kind of to have premonition about what you are about to say, and then say it themselves, or you might do this for them and then they will say, I was just about to say that, or I was just thinking that. And there will be this kind of developing awareness of this telepathic connection between the two of you. Now, depending on how awakened they are, they may or may not actually refer to it as telepathy. They might think it's coincidental, but they will absolutely, no matter what, be convinced that there has to be some kind of connection between the two of you, because you are so capable of effortlessly reading one another's thoughts, emotions, and energy. And finally, the most esoteric sign of this entire list that your twin flame is feeling this connection to is that they visit you or come to you in dreams and deliver some kind of message to you or share time with you in your dreams. Now, I know this might sound strange, but dreams really aren't just imaginings of the mind. They are essentially a portal to the unconscious mind, which through the unconscious, we actually receive signs from the universe. We receive communication from our higher self and our spirit guides, and even passed on loved ones and from soul connections that are still alive in the world. We essentially are connected through the subconscious to everyone and everything that exists and that has ever existed, to the so-called Akashic records, which is this invisible library of energetic information that exists around us in every moment of every day and reveals all information about the past, present, and future. So through these dreams, this link to the unconscious, as you sleep and your conscious mind is finally dormant, finally out of the way, you unconsciously can connect to your twin flame's energy. And very often when your twin flame is feeling very intensely about you during the day, and especially as they fall asleep, you unconsciously in your own sleep time will pick up on these energetic signals of love, of longing, and these will manifest as dream communication or dream meetings with your twin flame as you sleep. This is also why I recommend listening to subliminals overnight while sleeping for very deep subconscious mind reprogramming, because subliminals by nature are designed to bypass that conscious filter of the mind and create deep, lasting changes on the subconscious, on the energy. I've created a 7-chakra twin flame clearing subliminal that is perfect for this kind of sleep time, subconscious mind reprogramming practice. This subliminal is designed to uproot and release any energy blocks stored within the 7 chakras that may be preventing that natural magnetism from flowing, that effortless manifestation of physical communication and connection with your twin flame, within the twin flame connection. So to explore more about this twin flame 7-chakra clearing, click the link in the pinned comment under this video. You can try any of the subliminals I have created completely free for 7 days when you create a free trial account on my website. Thank you so much for joining me here today in this podcast. I hope it was helpful for you in some way. If you do resonate with me, please subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. Have a wonderful, magical, beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast.